Arcos. The hive is lost. Even the spires are short on food and supplies. The streets around them are dotted by bodies of suicides only to vanish soon after. There is no reprieve for the city. There is no way out. Your target is to breach the seals that isolate the hive from the toxic atmosphere surrounding us. Go now, and be prepared to survive the hell it will unleash.
You get that transmission? They're bloody planning to kill us all. I've got about as much use for them as tits on an Escher. We move to intercept. I'll personally toss them in the fighting pits.
Welcome back to Battle for Arcos in Episode 9 of our Dark Uprising campaign. Arcos appears to be a lost city. The enforcers of High-Sec depart the precinct to destroy the environmental seals that keeps Arcos safe from the toxic wasteland that surrounds it. Little do they know, their transmission was intercepted by the Iron Skulls. Bone Crusher refuses to die unless his head is separated from his shoulders. The Iron Skulls depart to intercept High-Sec on their way to the upper levels. A quick note before we start today's battle, we are getting ready for the future of Necromunda on this channel. I have a poll up on my YouTube page on the discussion tab. This is your opportunity to cast your vote for who we should include in the next campaign. If you watched my update video a few weeks back, you'll know Delac is in, but the rest is up to you. If you wish to give any support to our channel, consider using an Amazon affiliate link in the description. You don't have to order what we recommend. Any Amazon purchase will qualify for a small commission on your total cart for whatever you order as long as you're using one of the links below. It's a great way to support the channel at no cost to you. Thanks so much, and let's take a look at the updated campaign table. The Fallen Angels are at the top of the win column with a 3-1 record. They also have the highest reputation but continue to have the least wealth. They also got the most beat up last week. The Iron Skulls and High-Sec will be fighting for their third victory today. Both crews have substantial out-of-actions cost, and High-Sec is the most wealthy of gangs. We will see the Lodge of the Damned and the Fallen Angels collide in our next matchup, where the Lodge has a big opportunity to shake things up. The Iron Skulls will be down a man today as Chop was injured during the last battle. The settlement will not generate a juve, but will generate 6 portions of meat. The Underhive Shrine generates 2 pieces of meat and gives a blessing to Spike, Fuse, and Dipstick. The Manufactorum level generates 2 pieces of meat and 2 scavenge rolls. All fighters are fed, and the Iron Skulls depart with 9 fighters and 3 total scavenge rolls. The Enforcers of High-Sec have 9 fighters ready for action as well. The Precinct Fortress will add 5 pieces of meat. The Underhive Shrine gives 3 pieces of meat and gives blessings to Leonidas, Lucky, Ice, Big Slick, and Champ. The Manufactorum level gives 2 pieces of meat and 2 scavenge rolls. The Hab level, recently taken from the Fallen Angels, generates 2 meat and 2 scavenge rolls. The Enforcers depart with all fighters fed and 6 scavenge rolls. High-Sec has been caught in an ambush. The mission today will be hit and run, and the Iron Skulls will be our attacker. High-Sec will be random D3 plus 7 on their starting crew and have rolled for 8 fighters. The Sniper, Lucky, will miss today's battle. The Iron Skulls are custom D3 plus 7, and all fighters will be on the board. For deployment, the Enforcers will deploy within 6 inches of the middle of the battlefield. The Iron Skulls must set up 8 inches away from them in any direction. This is truly an ambush indeed. Both sides are looking to cut down as many enemies as possible. Each fighter taken out of action is worth 1 victory point, with the leader being worth 2. The Iron Skulls will have access to a special ability called Vanish, where they can get off the board and not count as fleeing. The game will conclude when 1 gang has fighters left on the board and the winner is declared by the most VP. And with that, we are ready to begin. Chaos is an ascendancy, with the Abundant Dead being rolled. That means at the end of the battle, any fighters killed as rolled on their lasting injuries table will be worth 1 additional piece of meat. Place your bets in the comments now. Who do you think is going to win this matchup? Priority rolls hit the deck for turn 1, and the Enforcers are going to be up first. Big Slick is going to activate, and he is going to target the ground beside Fuse with his grenade launcher. He does use his first action to aim, so he will need 3s to connect here. It is just clipping Fuse around the corner. Shot goes off and it is good, so he is going to be pinned. Does he get knocked back? The answer is no. Does he take a wound, needing 5s here due to his toughness of 4? The answer is no. He just goes down pinned. A good shot there from the Enforcers, and lucky for Goliath, nothing else happened. Rivet will activate for Goliath and use both actions to move towards this door. Champ will then activate for Hisek. He will use his first action to move and his second action to fire down at the ground with his grenade launcher. This is going to be close to Bone Crusher, but not close enough to hit him. He's hoping for a scatter here. He will hit on 4s. That shot will miss, so we're going to roll out a d6 and a scatter, and it is going to scatter away from Bone Crusher. Nothing happening here. We're then going to look at Butch, who is going to use his first action to move up and his second action to lob up a frag grenade, and he can toss this thing 12 inches. It will get both Enforcers under the template here as he's going on the corner of this piece of terrain, needing a 4 to hit, and he will get a hit. So both Enforcers will be pinned, and ammo check is failed, so he is going to lose that off his fighter card for the rest of this match. Both Enforcers go down pinned. Are they knocked back? Big Slick, the answer is yes. And Rambo, the answer is yes. Both Enforcers getting knocked back. And moving to wound rolls, needing 4s here. Strength 3 against Toughness 3. And the first one on Big Slick will fail. The second one against Rambo is going to wound. So we are going to go ahead and roll a save for him. He does need a 4-up with his hardened flak armor and his armored undersuit. He fails that, so an injury die will be rolled out for him. And it is going to be an out of action. So Rambo going out of action. We are not going to roll an initiative check for him because he's already done for. We do roll an initiative check for Big Slick. He passes, so he will not fall. Switch activates for the Enforcers, aims his Enforcer bolt gun and pulls the trigger, eyeing down Butch. He does need 3s to hit rapid fire. He will get a hit, ammo check will be required and fails. So the gun does jam up, the wound roll needs 4s and fails. Butch will go down pinned. Spike activates for the Iron Skulls. He is hobbled, so only has a 3-inch move. He moves twice to the ladder on this building. That will get a reaction from Leonidas, who uses his first action to move, and his second action to fire his concussion carbine down at the ground where he can see. He can't see Spike, but he can see the ground. Needing anything but to hit, getting a +1 modifier here, and he is going to get a hit, so that blast is going to clip Spike. And does he get knocked back? The answer is yes. The roll to wound needs 5s, however. Strength 3 against Toughness 4. That fails, so he just goes down pinned. Bone Crusher senses this is his moment. He rounds the corner and takes a shot at Captain Leonidas point blank range with his plasma pistol. He's going to get a +2 modifier here to being short range, so anything but 1s to hit. He will get a hit. The ammo check is required, needing a 5, and it will fail, so he will lose the plasma mode on this combi weapon. The wound roll goes out, easily wounding on a 5, and a 5-up save is taken. The hardened flak armor eliminates the gun's AP. It is still failed, however. An injury die will be rolled out. It's a 2-damage weapon, so 1 die rolled out, and Captain Leonidas is going down with a serious injury to Bone Crusher. Now, the captain is not within half an inch to take an initiative check to see if he falls, but the Subjugator Sergeant Champ is going to take a cool check. He's going to get a +1 from Big Slick and pass. 8-Ball activates for Hisek. He is going to move and fire his grenade launcher down at Bone Crusher. This is going through full cover, so it will need 4s to hit with that -2 modifier. He's going to need 6s here, and that's exactly what he gets. This is going to pin Bone Crusher. The first roll is to see if he is knocked back. The answer is no. Does he wound, needing 5s? Yes, it is a wound, and a 6-up save being taken here with Furnace Plates. It is not coming from the front arc. That save will fail, so 1 wound going on Bone Crusher. He goes down pinned. Dipstick activates next. The Juve moves around the corner, attempts to fire his stub gun up at Champ, and he is just out of range. So we are going to take an ammo check for him as the shot is going to miss here. He's all good. And then we flip over to Broadside. He wants to get up close and personal with his shotgun. He's going to move and activate the lift, going to the lower levels. Acid will then activate and make a double move around the corner. And then over for the Enforcers, Ice is going to activate. He is going to make a double move to back up Broadside. Fuse will activate next. He will get to his feet and make a move with his second action. And then Diesel will activate. He is going to move to the top of the building up the ladder. And he is going to fire his stub cannon at Champ. He does have a clean shot here, needing 4s. That shot will miss. Ammo check is good. We'll then see Scuzz. He is going to move behind Dipstick. And that is going to bring us to the end of the turn. The Iron Skulls are up 1-0. We do need to take an injury roll here for Captain Leonidas to see if he stays down or if he rolls over with a flesh wound or goes out of action, and it looks like he is staying down with a serious injury. Bottle check was taken for the Enforcers, and it was a 1, so everything is good. We're going to see what happens moving into turn 2, if the Iron Skulls can keep up this momentum or if High Sec can turn the battle in their favor. Turn 2 priority rolls are going out, and the Iron Skulls are going to be up first. Scuzz is going to activate and use his first action to move up. His second action will be to target Broadside and Ice with his combat shotgun, getting both under the template. So this is just a strength 2 weapon, but we will roll a d6 to find out how many wound rolls go against Broadside, and there will be 2. Now Broadside is only a toughness of 2 due to a lasting injury, so he's going to need 4s to wound. 1 wound goes through. He is going to get cover from this roll, and a 3-up save is good. He will go down pinned. Flipping over to Ice, we're going to roll out a d6 to see how many wound rolls, and he's going to get the full complement of 6 dice coming at him. These will need 5s, however, as he is toughness 3 against the weapon strength of 2. There will be 2 wounds that come across here, and once again, he will get the benefit of cover, so that increases the save by 1, going to a 3-up. Both of those are good. Both of these fighters are going down pin, however. And over for High Sec, Champ is going to activate and target Diesel with his grenade launcher. He is targeting the front of the base here where he can see the ground, needing 3s to hit with the aim, and it will get a hit. Does it knock him back? Yes, it will. We're going to take an initiative check for Diesel, and he needs a 4-up. He will pass on this 5, so he will not fall, but it will need 5s to wound. Strength 3, toughness 4, and the wound roll fails. Dipstick is going to announce a charge and a Broadside. He does have a movement of 5, so he will just need a 2 on a D3, and anything but that he is going to fail and wind up being an inch short of the target. Switch will react using his first action to move and his second action to fire down at Dipstick. His Enforcer bolt gun is still jammed, so he's going to pull out his stub gun, getting a +2 modifier for being short range. That will take him to anything but 1s to hit, and he will connect here. Dipstick will go down pinned. It is strength 3 against toughness 3 on the Juve, so that 4 is going to do a wound. The furnace plate save, 5 up from the front, is failed. Injury die being rolled out for Dipstick, and he is going down with a serious injury. The Iron Skulls will then play a tactics card, Inhuman Resilience, that allows their fighters to immediately stand back up. So Bone Crusher, Diesel, Spike, and Butch will all get to their feet. In addition, they get to take an injury roll for Dipstick, who recently went down, treating an out of action as a serious injury to see if he can roll back over with a flesh wound. And that roll is coming out now. He is staying down with a serious injury. Captain Leonidas, fearing he may be charged, is going to make a crawl move 2.5 inches down the stairs. Bone Crusher will then activate, and his pistol is out of ammo, so he's going to pull out his stub gun and fire it up at Champ. It is going through partial cover, easily going to get a hit on this 6. Wound roll just needs a 3, easily getting a wound on a 6. And then the armor save is also a 6, so that's all good. He is knocked back, however, and pinned, so we're going to take an initiative check right here. He fails. So Champ is going to fall down a level here, going down pinned within 1/2 inch of the edge, and he's going to take a strength 3 hit against toughness 3. This will need 4s to wound. It will wound. Armor save will be taken, and it's going to be failed, so Champ will take a wound after all. 8-Ball activates, uses his first action to aim, and his second action to fire a stun grenade at Diesel. Just needs 3s to connect here, easily hits on a 6, ammo check required, also needing a 6. That fails. Strength 2 against toughness 4 will need 6s to wound. That will fail, but he is concussed and did get pinned near the ledge. So an initiative check is taken, he will fail, and he's going to plummet down to the ground where he will take an additional strength 3 hit. He has toughness 4 again, so that will need 5s to wound. The wound roll comes out, and it is unsuccessful, but good tactics coming from the Enforcer player. Butch activates for the Iron Skulls. He's going to move twice. And then over for Highsec, Ice is going to activate. He's going to stand and fire his stub gun at Dipstick. Short range, he is on the ground, needing 3s. He's going to get a hit. Strength 3 against toughness 3 on the Juve, so 4s to wound, and that is going to wound. And a 6-up Furnace Plate save is actually good. No facing there, but still made the save. Over for the Iron Skulls, Acid is going to make a double move up the ladder, getting behind some cover. And then Broadside, he's going to get to his feet, and he's going to fire at Scuzz with his Enforcer shotgun. He does need 3s to hit here, short range, and he's going to get rapid fire, 3 hits. He's going to go down pinned. He is going to get knocked back. The roll to wound needs 4s, and 1 wound is going to go through. He's going to hit the wall. That's going to increase this damage by 1, so total damage of 3 here. He fails the armor save. 3 injury dice are rolled out. 2 serious injuries and a flesh wound. We then move over to Rivet, who is going to use his first action to open the door, the second action to move up. Then Big Slick will activate. He's going to get to his feet and fire at Acid. He does need 3s here. He's got him in short range with his stub gun. He is benefiting from some partial cover. That is going to hit. He does need 5s to wound, however. That's going to get a wound, and then a 5-up save is failed. 1 damage will be taken, so an injury die is rolled out, and he is going down with a serious injury here. We roll up an initiative check here to see if he falls, and he stays where he is. And now Fuse has acquired a target in Big Slick. He is going to use his first action to aim, and his second to fire his grenade launcher up. He is in partial cover, so that's going to cancel out the aim. 4s are going to be needed on this shot. And that is going to hit the target. He will also need 4s to wound, strength 3, toughness 3, and a wound will go through. Armor save will be taken, and it is failed on a 1, and that's going to be 1 damage going against Big Slick. Injury dice rolled out. He goes down with a serious injury. We also roll out an initiative check here to see if he falls, and he does not. The railing saves him from falling, but he does go down with a serious injury. Remaining moves belong to the Iron Skulls. Spike will move twice to get to the top of this building, and Diesel is going to stand and move, and that is going to bring us to the end of an action-packed turn 2. So both sides pass bottle checks, but the board is in absolute chaos as fighters for both sides are down across the board with serious injuries. It's going to be interesting to see who rolls back over to continue the fight or who stays down. We're going to show some of those critical rolls coming right up. Let's get started with Big Slick on his injury roll to see what happens here. It looks like he is staying down with a serious injury. Captain Leonidas will be up next to see if he rolls back over with a flesh wound, stays down, or goes out of action. It's going to be the latter, so he is going out of action. That's a big loss right there. Next up, we will see Acid, and rolling for him, he's going to roll back over with a flesh wound. We will then roll for Dipstick and Scuzz. Dipstick we will roll for first. He is staying down with a serious injury, and then we will roll for Scuzz, also staying down with a serious injury. Turn 3 coming up, Iron Skull's up 3-0, but Highsec is within striking distance, and they will be up first. And going for their first victory point, Broadside is going to charge into Scuzz, taking him out of action. That is going to make the score 3-1 Iron Skulls. We'll then see Rivet. He's going to make a double move going away from the Enforcers, and we'll explain this in a minute. Switch is going to successfully unjam his weapon, and then he's going to toss out a smoke grenade and disregard that ammo roll. It is going to hit. Ammo check fails, and smoke is going up. Over for the Iron Skulls, Fuse is going to make a double move, also going away from the Enforcers. Ice is going to activate and make a charge move into Dipstick. That is going to make the score 3-2. And then Bone Crusher is going to make a double move. Big Slick will then activate. He is going to crawl towards 8-Ball. Spike is going to retreat with a double move. 8-Ball is going to move next to Big Slick to lend an assist in the end phase, and he's going to chuck a frag grenade over at Acid, and he needs 6s to hit here due to heavy cover. That shot is going to miss, and ammo check is going to be required, which is good. We will then roll a d6 and a scatter to see where this thing goes, and it's going to be moving 3 inches back towards him and will hit no one. Butch then activates. He is going to make a double move, also going away from the Enforcers. Champ is going to stand and make a move up the stairs. Diesel is going to move out of line of sight. And Acid is also going to activate. He is going to stand and move back down the ladder. And that is going to bring us to the end of the turn. And the reason that the Iron Skulls are moving away and getting out of line of sight is because this is a hit and run mission. Any out of actions count as victory points for the other side, no matter how it happens. The Iron Skulls have Butcher and Bolt, so they can use a double action to vanish if they are at least 6 inches away and out of line of sight, and they would be able to be removed from the board without being counted as out of action. In addition, the high-sec Enforcers did bottle this time, so they will be testing coming up on the next turn. We're going to roll for Big Slick here. He does get an assist from 8-Ball nearby. He'll stay down with a serious injury, but we've got a very interesting turn 4. Intelligence checks will be needed to see if the Iron Skulls can make it out. And priority rolls are going out for the turn. The Iron Skulls are going to be up first. And Champ is going to pass a cool check, spread that around to the entire Enforcer group. Spike is going to start the turn by making a double move, getting out of line of sight. Switch is then going to activate, make a move with his first action, and then fire his Enforcer bolt gun down at Acid. He does need force here, Acid getting partial cover. Shots coming out now, rapid fire, and we miss. The Enforcers play the Lucky Shot Tactics card to re-roll, looking for 4s, and misses again. Acid is then going to use this opportunity, seeing the bullets hit the pavement, to move out of line of sight. 8-Ball activates and moves, forgets his grenade launcher is jammed, can't unjam it, so he stays put. And then Diesel is going to try to get off the board and fail. Champ then makes a double move, going up to give an assist to Big Slick. Fuse will make an intelligence check to try to get off the board, and that will pass. Broadside is going to move and use his second action to open up the door. Butch then activates with a move to get out of line of sight. Ice is going to make a double move through the door, getting behind cover. Rivet is going to attempt to get off the board, needing an 8, and he will pass. And last to activate will be Bone Crusher, needing a 7. He rolls up a 12. He is getting off the board as well. And that is going to bring us to the end of the turn. So the Enforcers trying to apply pressure. The Iron Skulls are able to get a few of their guys off the board. And it really comes down to intelligence checks at this point, and if the Enforcers can close the gap to cause any more damage. We are going to roll a test here for Big Slick. He is getting an assist from Champ, and he is staying down with a serious injury. Should be interesting moving into the next turn. Priority rolls are going out now, and the Iron Skulls are going to be up first. Champ passes his cool check, spreads that around to all of the Enforcers up top. Broadside and Ice test, and Broadside fails, so he flees the battlefield as they have officially moved out of range. Up for the Iron Skulls, Acid is going to try to get off the board. He's going to fail that intelligence check. 8-Ball is then going to move, and he rolls up a 6 on his reload, so the grenade launcher officially has ammo again. Spike then rolls up a success to get off the board. Ice then makes a double move, bringing Diesel into line of sight. This would prevent him from escaping. Butch rolls to get off the board and fails. And then Switch is going to make a double move, trying to apply as much pressure to the Iron Skulls as possible. Diesel is going to move around the corner with his first action, and he's going to take out his stub gun, and he is going to need 3s to hit here, getting that +2 modifier for short range. Ice is in partial cover, but still gets hit by the bullet, and the wound roll fails. He will go down pinned. Champ and Big Slick are going to stay put up top, Champ desperately trying to pick his friend up. And that's going to bring us to the end of the round. We will test for Big Slick here, getting 2 dice. He finally rolls back over with a flesh wound, so Champ was able to stabilize him. The Iron Skulls just need to get one more member off the board, and they can voluntarily flee the rest and take this scenario home. So turn 6 is coming up. We'll see if the Enforcers can make a last-minute push. As priority rolls hit the table, the Iron Skulls will be up first for turn 6. Champ once again passes a cool check. Ice, unfortunately, out of range, fails and flees the battlefield. Acid will activate first, use 2 moves to get out of line of sight. 8-Ball is going to move forward, and he's going to fire his grenade launcher down at the ground beside Acid. It is just going to clip him, and he is going to need 4s to hit here, and that shot is going to miss. We roll out a d6 and a scatter, and it's moving back towards him. That's not going to do anything. Next up, Diesel is going to attempt to get off the board, and he's going to fail. Champ is then going to move to the railing, and he's going to fire down with his grenade launcher at the ground beside Acid, trying to do the same thing. He is going to need 4s to hit here as well. And this shot is also going to miss, rolling a d6 and a scatter, and it's moving directly in the direction that it can't go. That shot's going to miss. Butch will then roll up to get off the table, and he will succeed. That will extend the Iron Skulls' lead to 5-2. And then we'll see Switch move over. He is going to target Acid with his Enforcer bolt gun. It's going through heavy cover here, but he does get the range bonus of 1, needing 5s. He's going to connect here with 2 hits, rapid fire. And Acid does have a lower toughness here because he took a flesh wound earlier, so just needing 3s to wound. 2 wounds go in, and these are 2 damage each. So taking saves, that 6 is going to pass at AP -1. He does have Furnace Plates, getting a 5 up in the front. 1 fails, 2 injury dice rolled out. He goes down with a serious injury. Big Slick will stand and move, and that will bring turn 6 to a close. We will roll up an injury dice for Acid, and he's going out of action. That'll give the Enforcers 1 more victory point, making the score 5-3 Iron Skulls. The Iron Skulls are going to voluntarily bottle out Diesel, making the score 5-4, and they will be leaving with a victory today. But what an incredible comeback by the Enforcers. This scenario was a ton of fun. And we've got the post-game coming up. What a game that was, and what a cool scenario. The Iron Skulls set out to cause as much carnage as possible without getting into a prolonged firefight. There was action from the very first turn, and the Iron Skulls took an early lead with a savvy grenade throw from Butch. Captain Leonidas then went out of action, and the Enforcers were on the back foot. Highsec did well to recover, however, getting up close and personal with 2 Goliath fighters and taking them out. Had that charge from Dipstick not been a 1, the Enforcers could have been overrun. While Goliath takes a 5-4 victory, the Enforcers remained on the board and will continue their mission. For spoils, the Iron Skulls walk away with 4 pieces of meat, 1 for each fighter taken out of action, and a scavenge roll. The Highsec Enforcers get 4 pieces of meat for each out of action they caused. This does not include fighters that vanished. XP will be distributed, and the Iron Skulls, due to their bottle, do not gain a rep. Highsec will also lose a reputation. For injuries, Acid rolled up a 46. He will be humiliated. The injury turns into a mutation, giving him Hungering Pride, meaning he must always activate first. Dipstick rolled a 42, which is a grievous injury, sending him into recovery. Scuzz rolls an 11, which is lesson learned. He actually gains 1 XP, but goes into recovery. For High Sec, Captain Leonidas rolled up a 46, which is humiliated as well. No mutation occurred. Rambo rolls a 34, which is a grievous injury. The man of the match goes to Bone Crusher. His well-timed plasma shot seriously injured Captain Leonidas and eventually led to him going out of action. This no doubt turned the tide of the battle in their favor. We hope you enjoyed this battle report. Don't forget to leave us a like if you enjoyed the content. We have more Necromunda coming as the fallen angels of House Escher take on the Lodge of the Damned. Don't forget to cast your vote for which gang we should bring into the next campaign. See you next time.